I thought it got to be too messy. And I said it out loud. I think for a while, Club Shay Shay was like Wendy Williams with a weight set. Like,
Shannon better be glad that Shannon ain't interviewing Shannon on Club Shay Shay. This would be a clear diss towards Shannon's recent assault accusations.
He is completely innocent of the allegations that have been levied against him. I can't sit here and speak to his innocence.
DL Hughley just unleashed a blistering takedown of Shannon Sharpe. The comedian is reacting to fresh SA allegations that have surfaced against the former NFL star. Hughley questions Sharpe's integrity and dares him to address the claims head-on. Social feeds are lighting up with split reactions, from fierce defenses to demands for accountability. Stick around as we break down Hughley's critique, Sharpe's response, and the backlash building online. Tonight's broadcast opens in a blinding swirl of outrage and revelation, as one of comedy's sharpest social commentators takes the microphone and launches a verbal broadside that ricochets through every corner of sports media. DL Hughley, never known for restraint when hypocrisy surfaces, has trained his seasoned wit on Pro Football Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe after brand new SA allegations ignited an already tense debate about power, fame, and accountability.
You ain't got no business out here with no 20-year-old white girl, with no 20-year-old period. Nothing wrong with being no freak, but be a freak and it makes sense.
While Sharpe's legal team moved quickly to brand the accusations false, defamatory, and opportunistic, a second wave of claims from a separate accuser landed before his first statement finished trending. The internet's attention, already primed by months of high-profile SA cases in entertainment, shifted into overdrive. Into this frenzy stepped DL Hughley, host of the nationally syndicated Hughley Uncut radio show and a veteran of cancel culture crossfire.
I know an auntie right now with all ass 49. Got more dimples than a golf ball. You will love it over there.
Opening his afternoon broadcast, Hughley declared, "I've watched too many brothers think their highlight reels make them untouchable. We don't get to fumble humanity just because we once caught touchdown passes." From there, the comedian dismantled Sharpe's initial defense line by line, highlighting what he called strategic vagueness in the ex-tight end's public statement. Hughley emphasized that dismissing allegations without specificity no longer satisfies audiences who have seen powerful figures dodge accountability for years.
You should have knew as soon as she said put a big black baby in her what time it was. She don't even want the baby to grow. She want the baby to come out your size soon as she have it.
What followed was an hour of rapid-fire commentary, equal parts legal analysis, and cultural dissection. Hughley pointed out that Sharpe, who has spent the last decade critiquing athletes' off-field behavior on morning television, now faces the same microscope he once pointed at others. "You sit on national television 5 days a week judging young men's character," Hughley continued. The network behind Sharpe's daily sports debate show convened an emergency meeting, weighing contractual morality clauses against ratings realities.
He did not mean it. It was in the heat of the moment, in the middle of an argument.
Dismissed doesn't mean imaginary, it means unproven in court. That's different from never happened. Sharpe's supporters countered by citing a lack of criminal convictions and accusing detractors of trial by Twitter. Amid the chaos, Sharpe's co-host remained conspicuously silent. Speculation mounted over whether a public rift was brewing behind the scenes. Industry insiders whispered that on-air chemistry between the duo had frayed in recent months over contract negotiations and creative direction. Hughley threw subtle shade at the silence. "If my brother's integrity got questioned and I knew the truth, you wouldn't need a press release. You'd hear me ride for him instantly." The comment, clipped and circulated, ignited debates about loyalty versus complicity. As midnight approached on the East Coast, Sharpe's attorney filed a motion for expedited depositions, labeling the case a malicious attempt to capitalize on my client's high profile. Legal pundits believe the move aims to accelerate a dismissal before network executives impose disciplinary action. Hughley's take: speed doesn't equal innocence. Sometimes it equals panic. He urged patience, reminding listeners that survivors often endure years of vilification before the truth surfaces. The next morning, Sharpe addressed viewers in a pre-recorded message aired at the top of his show's usual time slot. The statement, just under 2 minutes, reiterated denial while framing the allegations as a distraction from his mission to uplift communities. Producers then pivoted to a pre-taped Greatest Debates montage, sidestepping live broadcast entirely. Ratings data later revealed a 20% spike, driven by morbid curiosity. Hughley seized on the absence of live commentary, arguing that if Sharpe were truly eager to set the record straight, he would have fielded real-time questions. Corporate fallout continued continued. Sporting Goods' giant Apex Fit suspended its endorsement deal, citing a zero-tolerance clause. Insurance firm Titan Life followed suit within hours. Market analysts noted Sharpe's endorsement portfolio could hemorrhage nearly $10 million if brands flee en masse. Public relations strategist Melody Jansen remarked, "Silence is costing him more each hour. In the court of public opinion, brand inertia reads as guilt." Hughley quoted that insight during his afternoon broadcast, punctuating it with a stark verdict. In 2025, silence isn't golden, it's gasoline on the fire. Community organizations that once partnered with Sharpe for youth initiatives issued carefully worded statements expressing concern. One Atlanta charity postponed a scheduled appearance, explaining that it does not want to overshadow ongoing legal proceedings. Hughley lauded the move, adding, "Protecting kids should always outrank protecting reputations," hoping to humanize his defense. Crisis management consultants argued a heartfelt denial, delivered face-to-face, might salvage public goodwill, but Hughley questioned whether such optics could overcome the mountain of skepticism. "We've seen that movie," he quipped. "Roll the tears, claim misunderstanding, rinse, repeat." The credits always roll before accountability shows up. As week 1 closed, ratings metrics revealed Hughley's broadcasts had doubled their usual audience, underscoring society's voracious appetite for commentary that blends humor with unflinching honesty. Yet Hughley concluded his final segment with a sobering reminder. This isn't entertainment, it's lives disrupted. Whether Sharpe's innocent or guilty, someone's truth is on the line. Our job is to hold space for that truth until the evidence speaks louder than spin. The whirlwind began again the following Monday, when federal investigators confirmed they were monitoring developments due to the interstate nature of certain allegations. Sharpe's legal team downplayed the disclosure, but the revelation jolted stakeholders who thought the controversy would remain a civil matter. Stock prices of parent companies owning Sharpe's show dipped marginally, signaling investor anxiety. Hughley observed, "Money listens when the feds start whispering." Over the next 72 hours, the focus turned to systemic enablers, production assistants who may have witnessed questionable backstage conduct, agents who arranged exclusive appearances, and venues that allegedly facilitated private gatherings. A whistleblower hotline set up by an advocacy nonprofit reported a surge of calls referencing Sharpe's name. Hughley urged anyone with information, exonerating or damning, to come forward, stressing that truth cuts both ways. At the same time, a growing faction of social media users pushed a counter hashtag defending Sharpe, calling out what they perceived as trial by pundit. Hughley addressed them directly. Demand due process? Yes. But remember, due process doesn't mean silence for everyone else. It means fairness in court, not censorship in conversation. The phrase trended instantly, encapsulating the tension between legal prudence and cultural dialogue. Midweek, Sharpe's primary network announced an independent investigation led by a retired federal judge. The probe would examine not only the current allegations, but also workplace culture within the show. Analysts viewed this as a hedge. If Sharpe remains, they want proof that every stone was turned. Hughley applauded the move, albeit cautiously. Independent means nothing if you pay the check.